Hey everyone, excited to show you what we're building at Alkali Engineering. We're building a platform called ProcessMate, which is the chemical engineering co-pilot for process design. This thing will help you catch errors in your design, optimize your design, and make sure you're ordering the right parts that are going to arrive the quickest. Okay, so there are two halves to this equation, the project side and the supplier side. So let's jump into the supplier side. And this is where we have our growing database of equipments and parts that the AI can select from. And this is powered by a massive set of equipment catalogs that our AI has scraped from, as well as key insights that Alkali has about vendors based on our experience working with them in the past, all of which is used to help the AI select the right parts for your design. So that's the first half of the equation. The second half is the project that you are building. And we can jump into that here. We'll jump into one of our demo projects, the Nottingham project. And here's where you can keep different versions of your project to easily keep track of what changes have been happening across time. We have a visual GitHub version control for projects that you can see. And we'll jump into one of these projects. And here on the left, you can see our partially filled in equipment list. And on the right, you can see the chemical process schematic. And you can see these are quite complicated. They have a lot of different pieces to them. And we're going to zoom in into one piece in particular. This is a valve. And what our AI is going to do is look through this schematic, make sure there aren't any errors in the schematic, and then suggest what parts that you should be buying from what vendors with what configurations. So let's jump into it. We can go into our AI assist. We can set the conditions. So let's get all of the ball valves from Alfa Laval, all the diaphragm valves from a different supplier, and then just ask our AI to go through the schematic, check for errors, and choose the right parts and configure them so that we don't have to. We'll take a look at them, but we don't have to do the first pass. So let's start that processing job. And you can see that the AI is rapidly jumping through, screening and looking and trying to select the right parts for you based off of the schematic. And on the left, you can see, so on the top right, you can see the actual parts that are being selected at a high level. And on the left, you can see, as we're moving through this equipment list, the parts that we can find and the parts that we can't find. So let's stop that for now. Now let's jump into the first part that our AI helped us select. You can see here, and we're going to flip over the card to take a more detailed look at that. And you can see that for that particular part of our schematic, the AI said you should buy Alfa Laval 5308, 5309, this size, this connection configuration, materials, etc. So this is something that could be very tedious for a human to do hundreds of times in an actual project, but for an AI to do, it's really no problem. And then you can see there are some lines on the equipment list the AI could not find, so it's highlighting the errors here. So no matching valve found. In this case, we intentionally put in a 20-inch valve that's huge and probably not relevant for this project. Or here, unknown valve size. And there are other things like, when it can't actually find the valve in the schematic. So in this way, the AI will identify errors before they become long-term project delays and lead to these iterative revision cycles, as well as give you a preliminary bill of materials. So then when you're done with that, you can press export your condensed equipment list, take a look at that, and just move your project faster and make sure you're not introducing design errors.